Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to do the last topic of chapter 2 of civics, that is decentralization. This topic is very important because very often we get questions from this topic in board examinations. We have so far discussed about the two-tier or the levels of the government. But for a vast country like India, where states are larger than the some independent countries of the Europe, only two tiers division of power is not sufficient. For example, UP is bigger than Russia. Maharashtra is about as big as Germany. So that is why we need a power sharing within a state also. And this is the reason behind the decentralization of power and the creation of third level of government in India. Now let's see what is the meaning of decentralization. When power is taken away from central and the state government and given to the local government, it is called decentralization. Large number of issues and problems are best settled at the local level. People directly participate in decision making. This helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation in them. A major step towards decentralization was taken in 1992. Amendment was done in the constitution to make the third tier of or the level of government more powerful and effective. This division was already there in the constitution before 1992 also, but their power and their function were not clearly defined. Now let's see what are the provisions of this amendment of 1992. 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act was passed in 1992 to give constitutional status to local self-governance in rural India. And 74th Constitutional Amendment Act was also passed in 1992 to give the constitutional status to local self-governance in urban localities. Now it is in the part 9th of the Constitution. Now we will see the provisions provided in this act one by one. Elections will be held regularly to local government bodies. Seats were reserved for SC/ST and other backward classes. And in this local government setup, 1/3 seats are reserved for women also. An independent institution called State Election Commission was set up to conduct elections in panchayat and municipal. State governments are required to share some powers and revenue with local bodies. Now let's see the structure of these local self-government bodies. It is divided into two levels. One, Panchayati Raj or the rural local government. Commonly we call it as a Panchayati Raj. And second is urban local government. Now first we will see the setup of rural local government, that is Panchayati Raj. Now it goes from village level to right up to the district level. Each village or group of village have Gram Panchayat. Members of Gram Panchayat are directly elected from Gram Sabha. Now what is Gram Sabha? Gram Sabha is a body of all adult members of that village or Gram Panchayat area. The elected members of Gram Panchayat are also known as Panch, and the president of Gram Panchayat is known as Sarpanch. It is the decision-making body at the village level. It works under the supervision of Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha has to meet at least 2 or 3 times in a year to approve the annual budget of Gram Panchayat. Gram Sabha also keep check and review the performance of the Gram Panchayat. Now above it, we see another level, and that is block, mandal, or commonly known as Panchayat Samiti. Few Gram Panchayat are grouped together to form a block or Panchayat Samiti. All Panchayat Samiti or blocks, in this, the members are elected from the Panchayat members in this area. Now all block samitis or the mandals together, they at the district level constitutes Jilla Parishad. Now who are the members of Jilla Parishad? Members of Jilla Parishad are elected plus MLA and MP of that district, and the officials of the district of different levels of bodies are the members of Jilla Parishad. So this is the structure of rural local government in India, commonly known as Panchayati Raj. Now we will see another local body at the urban level or the localities. Here, as you can see, we have municipalities in towns or small cities and municipal corporations for big cities. Municipalities, they are controlled by elected body, and that is the representatives of the people, and head of municipalities is known as municipal chairman. He is a political head of municipality. In municipal corporation, it is also controlled by the elected body, that is people's representatives, and political head of municipal corporation. So with this, we come to an end of our last topic of this second chapter of civics, that is federalism. So here I am going to end this, and on Monday I'll start with the first chapter of history. Till then, bye bye and take care.